All right, let's get right into it. We are talking about one of the biggest camera releases in a long time, the Canon R5 Mark II. Now, it's the follow-up to an absolute legend, and today we're going to break down exactly what's changed, what's new, and help you figure out if it's actually time to upgrade. Okay, so to really get this, you have to remember that when the original R5 landed back in 2020, it was a total game changer. It completely reset expectations for what a mirrorless camera could do. Now, here we are, 4 years later, and Canon's finally given us the successor. So what does 4 years of new tech actually get you? And that really brings us to the big question, right? The one that every single R5 owner or anyone thinking about buying one is asking themselves. Is this Mark II a massive leap forward that's worth the money, or is it kind of more of a small step? Well, let's find out.
So, before we get into all the shiny new features and the cool stuff, it's really important to talk about the amazing foundation that both of these cameras are built on. Let's take a look at what Canon was smart enough not to change.
You know, when you put the specs side by side, it's pretty wild how much is exactly the same. We're talking the same incredible 45 megapixel resolution, that same pro-level build quality, a super durable shutter, and those beautiful high-res screens. It really just proves how much Canon got right the first time around. Okay, now for the really exciting part. That shared foundation is rock solid, but the Mark II makes its case with 5 upgrades that are, frankly, game changers. This is where it really pulls ahead. The number 1 upgrade is a huge one, and it's happening deep under the hood. The Mark II gets a brand new stacked CMOS sensor. That's tech that's trickled down from Canon's top-of-the-line R3. The best way to think about it is like this. It's upgrading from a single-lane road to a multi-lane superhighway for all the camera's data. And that speed, well, it unlocks everything else. And here's the first thing you get with all that speed: a massive jump in burst shooting. It goes up by a full 50%. You go from an already quick 20 frames per second on the original R5 to a blistering 30 on the Mark II. If you shoot sports or wildlife, you know that's a gigantic advantage. The second game changer, well, this feels like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's called eye control autofocus. The camera literally tracks your eye through the viewfinder and moves the focus point to whatever you're looking at. It's this incredibly intuitive, almost psychic way to shoot, and it just connects you to the camera like never before. Third on our list is a massive one for all the videographers out there. The Mark II completely solves the original R5's biggest headache, those recording limits because of overheating. They're gone. With the Mark II, you get unlimited recording, which takes it from being a great camera that shoots video to being a true professional video workhorse. And it doesn't just stop there. Canon added a whole checklist of pro-level video features that people have been asking for. You get a proper full-size HDMI port, a tally light so you actually know when you're recording, and even digital lens breathing correction for super smooth focus pulls. These are serious professional upgrades. Okay, upgrade number 4 tackles another one of the original's biggest complaints: battery life. The R5 Mark II is rated for 620 shots on one charge. That is almost double the 320 shots you got from the R5. It just means you can shoot for way longer without having to swap batteries all the time. And finally, our 5th key upgrade is for anyone who shoots fast action. The Mark II's electronic viewfinder has 0 blockout. So what does that mean? It means when you're ripping off shots at 30 frames a second, the screen never flickers or goes dark. You get a constant, clean view of your subject, which makes tracking a bird in flight or a player on the field so much easier. Of course, you know how this goes. All of this amazing new tech doesn't come for free. So let's take a quick look at the price tag and see what this progress is actually going to set you back. So the R5 Mark II launched at $4,299. That's a $400 premium over what the original R5 cost when it first came out. But honestly, when you start thinking about that new sensor, the unlimited video, and everything else we just talked about, that price difference starts to make a whole lot of sense. Okay, so we've looked at what's the same, what's new, and what it's all going to cost. It's time to put it all together and get to the final verdict. Let's figure out which of these incredible cameras is really the right tool for you. Look, the R5 Mark II is a pretty clear choice if your job depends on these specific new features. If you're a pro videographer who needs unlimited recording, or you're a serious action photographer who needs that speed and no blackout, or you just have to have the latest tech and best battery life, then yeah, the Mark II was built for you. But let's be super clear about this. The original R5 is still an absolutely amazing camera. If you mainly shoot still photos like portraits or landscapes, or if you're on a tighter budget, that original R5 offers incredible pro quality. And now it's becoming a fantastic value, especially if you look on the used market. And, this really gets to the heart of the whole thing. If you take a portrait or a landscape in good light, you are probably not going to be able to tell which camera took which photo. The image quality is that close. The Mark II's real advantage only shows up when you push it to the extremes, in low light, at super high speeds, or during really long video shoots.
So at the end of the day, Canon has given us two ridiculously good tools. Both of them can create world-class images and video, so the real question isn't just about which camera is technically better, it's about which tool is the right one for the job you need to do and the art you want to create.